But now we're getting to the point where matches are definitely going to be played here, and it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes up. Again, all these teams, these 64 teams that are remaining even, are all competing. Actually, there's more than that because there's a losers bracket. Anyways, the point is they're all competing for the top 3 will go to Diamond. The next 16, I believe it is, will go to Gold, and then after that, everyone else going to the Silver Division. Again, only 3 divisions this time around for Hunter Season 4 as we removed the Bronze. So with that said, excited to be here. Now, we found a round of 64 matchup that actually a little interesting. You know, definitely a couple of player names you may recognize even on either side. So let's just say that's probably the biggest reason why we chose this one. It's hard to find the good matches, honestly, in these earlier rounds especially, but I'm looking forward to this one. We'll see how it shapes up here. I'm joined by Snooey once again as my co-caster. You're the one that actually suggested this matchup here, and now we recognize Russian Dargons as they're known by at least several of their players. You know, Archtiger, Time to Die, Super KGE, of course. But the other side, Felt Esports, not as much maybe. I mean, Enthaw's somewhat familiar, but honestly, other than that, not really too familiar. What can you tell us about these guys over here?
Well, they are from America, and they are usually around during evening times, scrimming versus, in the 6 team and complexity, and just playing team matchmaking casually as well. But they have been scrimming from time to time versus some top-tier American teams, and they've been doing pretty well. So I think we found a very good matchup here for such an early round. Yeah. I'm very interested to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, again, a lot of these qualifier events, it actually is usually a single elimination tournament, so it's like, oh gosh, you know, here we are, a crazy matchup this early on. But yeah, with it being double elimination, it's a little more lax, at least, of course, in that sense. But yeah, how about this start, too? This is already getting pretty interesting. Again, something we talked about earlier today in the earlier cast is that tournament rules, 6 more heroes became eligible, and this was one of them, the Hellbringer, and now for the second time today, we're going to see a Hellbringer pickup with the Magma's first pick. But I wonder if this is something maybe we should expect a little more of on the scene. Did you think Hellbringer was going to possibly be a popular pickup, or picked up at least?
I still rate Moira higher than Hellbringer, but especially versus those kind of PK-heavy teams like we see here on the Legion side, Behemoth at first pick, for example, Prisoner now as well. Hellbringer's ultimate is a very useful tool because of that long-range ability. And you can also play it in the support role, of course, and that's a low cost for like a support hero to be able to do so much for the team, like cancel Tempest ultimates and all those PKs like Magma's Eruption. I think it's going to be a very, very valuable tool and a hero that we can see a lot of. I would still rate Mora and potentially Rhapsody, Andromeda, Engineer in some cases higher than the Hellbringer. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to the laning phase and how active you can expect your enemy team to be. Because Hellbringer is not the best to deal with early aggression, but as long as you can get level 6 rather safe, then I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah. All right, well, again, earlier today, I didn't necessarily see the full fruition of the hero by any means, but expecting to maybe see a little bit more from Felt Esports here on their side. But yeah, excited for that. Also, yeah, this Felt Esports team, also, I believe you mentioning West Coast, you know, American in general, but they also apparently ads as actually from Australia. And he's actually been around for a while. I was actually talking with him in the pregame. But I guess I casted him like 3 years ago, back when we had when we hosted what was the Oceanic qualifiers for one of the Dream Hacks in 2012, I think it was. So he was mentioning that. But, you know, again, it's good to see that, you know, players sticking around this long. And even though they may not necessarily be the top tier, the biggest known, hey, they still love the game and still hanging around and still playing some Han. So it's good to see that, one of the older crowd here. Anyways, the pickup's continuing, and it's fun to see Prisoner on the side of Russian Dargons over here. And I've been told it's actually Dargons, because it's the Russian way to say it.
And that's, the meaning is mentally challenged dragons. A Dargon is a mentally challenged dragon, so, yep.
That's actually the meaning? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, boy. Anyways, Ophelia 4th pick. That's, again, one of those heroes that's interesting to always see when she gets picked up that late, but they like the Ophelia here.
Yeah, especially versus a player like Archtiger that plays the hero very well. I'm surprised to see that it actually makes it through the second banning phase. Here we go to Gladiator. There's a lot of, like, main heroes over at the Hellborn side, like almost a little bit too much. I mean, it's safe to say that Hellbringer is going to be around in that support role now, and I don't know where Magnus is going to be secondary support or potentially even Suicide, but I feel like there's a little bit too much of everything right now on their side. It doesn't feel like their lineup is necessarily focused or centered around a specific hero. It just feels like there's a little bit all around. So they need to be careful not to fall behind during the laning phase. Otherwise, they're going to be punished by the push coming out from Legion team.
Yeah, Complexity famously known for running a main carry Gladiator even as of late, but I do know that the whole idea of the middle Gladiator is definitely a possibility, so I'm expecting that to be more the case here, especially with that silhouette as you're getting at. Instead going to be their short lane carry, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that's ran, and spreading out that farm, as you pointed out. Will that mean Gladiator may just play more of a very heavy roam early on? I think could be the potential here, because there is a little too much farm to go around, perhaps, but we'll see how that works out for them. I know that this is definitely a hero that's kind of a mixed opinions amongst the scene, it seems like, how big the buffs were for him. A lot of people still consider him kind of not really that great of a tier hero, but other people, I think yourself even, you've stressed how you actually really like this hero now, the changes of the call to arms and whatnot, so.
I love Gladiator. I think he's so damn strong if you play it correct. Like, have an offensive force hero like Solstice or Parasite, and all you need to do is just use the Showdown. You can get it in early levels, like level 3 or something. Just Showdown the enemy hero, and you got a Solstice Charge or a Parasite gank successfully happening. Or even, like, get rid of heroes that, or pull heroes back, like Wretched Hag and those other Magnus, like, he cannot get away. None of the heroes can get away from him. So I think it's a very useful tool, or a very useful hero. Now the Tempest as well, like, there's so many core heroes on the Hellborn side. I just feel like I don't know who's going to support and who's going to do what. There's so much stuff going on all over their draft.
Yeah. I mean, I can safely assume it's going to be a Hellbringer main support here. We talked about that a little bit, how the role of the new Hellbringer especially fits a lot even better in the main support role, so... But it still is, again, a lot to go around here.
Oh, damn. We're going to have a remake because one of them disconnected.
Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah, so we are back with the Haunter lobbies, and for the most part, it's good to have them back because it does help organize things a little better and a little easier, I think. But this is the one downside of the Haunter lobbies. That being the remake, they do have to go through the captain's pick again, so. All right. I'll probably vote for the remake here. And then get it figured out. Apparently one of the players just crashed there, unfortunately. So, round of 64 matchup, though, coming at you here. That's definitely an intriguing lineup on the side of Fel Esports. Very, very AoE-centric. A lot of wombo combo potential.
They're going to need level 6 before they can take fights. They have absolutely 0 damage up until that point. Like a Silhouette and a Magnus, Gladiator, like none of them screams damage early on. While on the Legion team, they got a Prisoner and a Rhapsody and Ophelia, who just deals tons of damage. At least if you get the right creeps with Ophelia.
Yeah, you mentioned the Archie Tiger Ophelia. He's definitely, we've seen that several times before and plays very well. So yeah, especially seeing that even in the 4th pick. Definitely maybe Fel underestimating the potential of such a player-hero combination, but it looks like we are back in the lobby and remaking here and loading up as you hear in the background, so going to be continuing things. Yeah, I was kind of going through it, and again, there's like even a couple more teams. There's actually one team, no one has Team Latin America, but In the Six is actually part of that. I mean, he's a streamer on, one of the American streamers that's actually been a little more popular lately, so curious to see how he and his new team does, and to see, I don't know how much personal experience he has in tournaments in general. I don't know if he really has a whole lot of Hunter background, but known as a little bit more of a popular streamer once again.
Yeah, I was playing in Gold at least during Season 3. It's definitely been up there. And I think they have been improving a lot since the last season, so it should be interesting at least, and definitely one of the contestants for that diamond spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's like a couple other teams. Teams like Dawn, actually. I saw Labyrinth is created Team Dawn once again, and they're in this event. A couple other players I'm not too familiar with, but it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of shapes up into next weekend and so on. But, okay. Yeah, these qualifiers, actually, they're set to last, I want to say, 2 weeks here. over the next 2 weeks pretty much. Let me double check on that. Because we got this weekend, obviously today, and then tomorrow we'll eventually get into what would be the round of. By the end of tomorrow, we'll be at the round of 8. No, the round of 16. Because we're just doing losers bracket 64. Okay, so by the end of tomorrow, we'll be at the round of 16, and when it's all said and done, we'll cover the losers bracket 64, and then the winner bracket round of 32 tomorrow. Then the following weekend, it will be down to 8, and then that following week, that'll actually be a couple of weekday matches as well as into the weekend. So August 16th is the final date of the qualifiers. So make that clear.
Gotcha.
All right. Into
So
the game
2
now.
weeks, yeah, or less.
Oh, going to the game here, the first thing I noticed is that Behemoth, he's running the new avatar. This thing,
The surfer.
I love the sounds and everything, and it's actually the ultimate, especially, is really cool. I will say that it looks even huger than Behemoth usually does, which is kind of crazy. But I think it's a surfboard; it's just massive.
Yeah.
Anyways, is that gonna be a suicide Behemoth?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Yeah.
That
Alright.
it is. Behemoth. Yeah, I wonder what those marks on his surfing board means.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just some random marks or have special
Possibly.
meaning.
You never know. It looks like a solstice shield almost on in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, the kind of the circle there. Yeah, you know what? I could talk with as you know him as Loremeister. I know him as Jeremy. He's our lore guy of Heroes of New Earth, and see if there's anything a little further into that. But I wouldn't be surprised. He's actually been doing. There's actually a lot more in-depth lore. Hell, the whole Paragons thing. It has to do with Jeraziah calling them in or something to the world of New Earth. I shouldn't be explaining it because I have no clue. There is a website. It's lore.heroesofnewearth.com, I think, or something like that. But it's pretty cool if you're into that kind of stuff. Anywho. Oh, not the greatest block right there from Behemoth to start.
Oh, he missed it?
Well, he not only got 2 off the bat, but he didn't even fully block it. So, not really the best.
Might have been intended a bit.
Maybe.
Probably wouldn't want that third soldier, of course, to be up there, but I still think it's going to push the lane back. Should be. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not the best block.
Yeah.
But it's gonna fulfill its purpose at least to get the lane back.
Okay.
So it's okay. It's not as bad as it could have been, I think.
There's a little
Maybe
bit of
not. I'm
something.
just kidding. It's not gonna push.
Yeah, I don't know. It did seem pretty awful. It seemed like it wasn't really planned. So maybe just kind of new to the hero in general on the suicide. I don't know what the deal is, but
He got experience with this, and he's the drafter, and he first picked the hero, so I'm pretty sure that
True.
he's confident with it.
that's a good
Probably
point.
just a misplay.
All right, it happens to the best of them. Other matchups, you got Gladiator versus Prisoner, Super KGE versus Ads. Ads is the player from Australia that I was talking about, so his ping probably a little higher than others, as, 330, jeez.
What? Seriously?
That's-
330?
I did it right before the pause, and he was at 330. Super KG at 187, so. Yep.
Nah, sure. I mean, when Slicks was playing, he was like at 280.
It was like 280 around there, yeah, to 300 usually, so. I don't know. Maybe he's. I mean, Australia's a big country, to be fair, so maybe he lives even further west.
He lives in
Australia.
Sydney, and I think that's
That's on the east
where-
coast, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where Slicks were living as well, though. I mean, 90% or 95% of the Australian population lives on the east coast, so safe to say that most of them live over there.
It's better internets, yo. But again, he's been playing for a long time, and you'd think that he's kind of used to it. So, to us that seems, oh my god, that's insane. But to him, it's just everyday life and on, man.
Yeah, playing a gladiator though, you need to be able to hit those pitfalls. Might be a little bit more difficult than it should be with all that ping. But at the same time, I mean, SupKG is playing on a USC server, and he's playing Prisoner. That's also very dependent on the ping. So I think it's quite fair. Shouldn't affect him too much.
Well, any pitfalls he missed, we could just blame on the latency.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the upside with having those ping issues.
Could always
That you
blame
can
the
always
lag.
blame the misplays.
It's good synergy there. Bottom rune, double damage. Enthoz there to pick it up, playing the Magnus. Both captains for these teams happen to play Suicide. That's actually usually not a role that captains usually would be. I find that interesting.
Yeah, good point. I'm not entirely sure what Beam was doing up here either. I mean, shouldn't he be able to get the lane pushed back? He's still level 1 at a 2-minute mark. Magma's rotating towards the mid as well. Like, both Suicides just struggling so much.
Yeah. They're not having the greatest time. I mean, with that double damage, trying to make a play middle, but obviously not working, heading back towards the bottom. So safe to say the short lane carriers for either side are probably doing pretty damn well, and Malikan's even doing much better. 17-9 versus a 10-7 Silhouette. So I don't know what really the biggest difference is, but something's causing a lot of issues for it. I mean, I guess Behemoth throughout, he can constantly, cause a little bit of issues with the Fissure, but Malikan's doing much better for now.
That is. Yeah, they're gonna pull it now. At least Hellbringer started pulling up, so he should be able to get some experience at least. Not doing the best of job to clear the creeps, but I guess that might have been his intention to get the lane even further pushed back. I mean, something that you should focus on if you're playing support for Hellborn side is to just pull to that hard camp as well. It's so efficient if you actually learn how to do it, and it's not too tricky. Like, it's really easy, especially if you got a hero that has some kind of long-range spell, like Glacius with a Glacial Blast, or
Hellbringer.
Andromeda with an Aurora.
He's got the Demonic Wave as 1,000 range.
Oh yeah, true.
I'd figure he can do it
should
with
be
that.
possible then.
You see Revward, that happens to be very well placed. Because Time to Die literally just placed that word aside. And, that's a little to Behemoth's fault right there. You saw Hellbringer notice that he was kind of off to the side right there. Maybe just either saw the word aside on him and then disappeared. So, math says, okay, he probably placed a word aside right here. So, he was correct.
Hellbringer could right now just pull the creeps and then, pull it further down to the hard camp and just deny the entire wave. I mean, it would benefit him so much and it would hurt Behemoth like crazy. So you can see right there, like, how good of a tool it would actually be if you learn how to master it.
Magnus, level 2 still. Trying his best to get any kind of experience, but it's definitely not easy. Gets a very far Malachi now this early on in the game, and Rhapsody also a very good babysit support, of course. So
this is the reason for why Kesu usually go for Marchers when he runs the Suicide Magnus. Simply because of the fact that he's having a much easier time to outrun the Rhapsody as well as getting experience, and that's really all he cares about at that point. Now with the Iron Buckler, he doesn't have the Marchers, so he tried to rotate towards the mid, but it costed him a lot of time and didn't really help him out too much. He's still stuck at level 2. I would think it's safe to say that Marchers level 1 would have been a better option than that Iron Buckler.
Middle lane.
Oh, what's going on in the mid lane?
They want to try to get a kill. Prison Break pulls him back in. Ophelia coming in with the Skeleton King. That's going to happen. Is this enough damage, though? It should be the Pitfall. Oh, man, that was close to getting away. But Super KG got the final auto attack off. It's a hell of an attempt from Ads, but yeah, well played, though, by Prisoner and Ophelia.
Yeah, nice execution. Definitely. The second that he hit level 6 on Prisoner, they rotate in the Ophelia and set up the first blood.
That Ophelia's judgment for the assisted damage there. I'm going to get that kill. Magnus will rotate middle in the meantime and reach a little bit of experience. He does need to be careful. I mean, Prisoner very good against Magnus, of course, with that shackle, so he's going to fall back, though, as soon as Gladiator comes in, and Gladiator almost got caught right away, but he manages to live, and yeah, he could have very likely been dead, actually, if he did eventually
What's he
get
doing
caught.
now?
He's going to run into Ophelia.
Going for the kill.
Ultra Lord, he's going for the kill. Caught arms, yep, that'll easily get the kill. In fact, Enthos comes in for the Lava Surge to secure it, and now Prisoner is on the chase, so the call to arms really ends up being wasted in a sense, unfortunately, but
yeah, well, I guess you couldn't predict the Magnus getting the haste rune, or maybe the communication was a little bit off, but it's not the biggest cooldown. As you can see, it's just 45 seconds, and then it's going to be up again. And it doesn't really have the mana to support it anyways now, together with the Pitfall, so I think it was fine. Better to take the safe route rather than the unsure.
So, man, free farming heroes right now. Malikan 400 GPM, Silhouette 280.
I'm not entirely sure. I watched Silhouette some journey laning phase, and he's missing, or she's missing, a lot of easy last hits up here.
Yeah. Then Niku. The Niku playing silhouette right here, not doing the best, unfortunately, with the last hits, and that is showing in the GPM. Gladiator, yeah, this is tough. He tries to pitfall, it does not land it even close, and Prisoner gets the kill in the end. So now a 2-1 hero kill lead, and Super KG, he's got the start of that at this Legion side. Russian Dargons they were looking for, as he now has 420 plus gold per minute himself.
That's scary. He has 1k away, or 1.1k away from that pull key already. The 7.5 minute mark.
Yeah.
If he gets a top row now as well, he might even be able to stop this push coming out, or this push attempt coming out from the Hellborn side. He's waiting for it, he's gonna stack the Ancients as well, but yeah, Behemoth should be able to actually negate this push all by himself. He's level 6 now, so we've got the Shockwave ability available.
Yeah,
Archer target, by the way, look at the mid lane. He's waiting, but pretty sure that the Hellborn team is aware of what is going on.
Gladiator, no other reason for him to be sitting back. I'm sure this ward of sight here is probably a spot. In fact, yeah, they're going to go in. There we go with the pitfall. Magnus got stunned as he was running in. The Call to Arms does land. Archie Tiger, he's going to survive, however. Ophelia's touch comes out. Even the showdown pulling her back in, but the damage follow-up not nearly enough between Magnus and Gladiator at this point.
Good enough, though. I mean, they bought time for the fact that Prisoner rotated back to the mid instead of actually just preventing the push from happening at the tier 1 tower at the top. So the Hellborn team definitely coming out. And they're going to go for a dive onto the Behemoth. Is Hellbringer, whoever, able to lock him down? Doesn't look like it.
No. Well, maybe. That's... no. Almost set up. I was going to say it's Hellbringer, though. But that Demon Strike nearly long enough. But again, only one charge right now, so unable to do...
Prisoner is up there, by the way.
There's the fissure stun, the pull on top, set it up beautifully, and the Prism Break to try to guarantee. Oh my god, those trees. If those trees weren't there, I think she could have actually broken the leash on the Prism Break, but they were in the way.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Elemental Void.
Yeah.
Because that breaks the trees, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that could have Elemental Void to clear the trees. That would have been something. But
Next double plays.
I don't know if that necessarily would have been worth it. If you had Meteor, on the other hand, yeah, of course, use a Meteor to try to help. But Malikan, though, man, pushing in the bottom lane during that Whispering Helm Steam Boots finish. He's going to just continue to snowball here early on right now. Hey, I wanted to bring up Gladiator's ability build here. He actually maxed out the Flagellation first. Being a middle Gladiator, I don't know. I almost think maxing out Pitfall first makes a little more sense, because to use that ability damage and try to get some kills set up with it. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think that a lot of players feel like maxing up the E is the better option just because of that awesome crit ability, but you're not really going to benefit from that until later on into the game, and also it pushes the lane, of course, so having it on cooldown might actually be to your advantage. So yeah, definitely Pitfall would have been a better option. Look at the Magnus, by the way, in the mid lane, trying to get some experience. The Super PG is looking for the hook attempt. There's an uphill ward, though, from the Hellborn side, so he should be fine.
Yeah, Super KG, obviously he's been around for a long time now in the Han scene, and one of the more known players, and he's had a little bit of a break here lately, other adventures, but apparently making at least a comeback for now with Russian Dargons, and pending how they do, perhaps we'll see how that continues to be. But it would be great to have him fully back on the scene. You know, Haxer and kind of another one of those players, even a former teammate of his. He's kind of back now to an extent, and seeing what he's going to be doing as well. Top lane, Behemoth. Good. He's going to live right there. There's 11 minutes coming up. Haxer joining Druids, right? Yeah, that's right. Probus did talk about that.
Replacing Kraken after DreamHack.
Yes.
Correct. And he's been looking really strong in scrims, at least. Feeling the role very well. He's been swapping it up a lot, or Druids have been swapping it up a lot, having a lot of different people on the Suicide role. Sibba and Haxer more or less just taking turns and playing Suicide and so on.
Really cool there. Portal Key on Prisoner. Just finished, by the way, so 11.5 minutes. Portal Key Steam Boots bottle.
Unfortunately for him, I don't think he has the most team support to follow it up quite yet. Rhapsody is still struggling on the levels, which surprises me because he has had so much time to actually get experience from all the stacks in the forest, and he stand next to Malikan. And Magnus wasn't even on the bot lane, so the fact that Hellbringer is level 6 and Rhapsody is stuck at level 4 surprises me.
Yeah.
mean, if they were to take a team fight right now, I mean, the Hellborn team would probably be the one coming out victorious.
Oh, absolutely. Their level 6 is very powerful, as you were pointing out. Hellbringer, Gladiator, and Tempest. And Magnus, for that matter.
Look at him, though, at the top lane. He's level 8, and he already got his Polki.
Jeez, yeah, he just got the goal for it, didn't he? Damn, man.
That's the risk of pushing tier 1 tower.
But no, he's been doing good, though. Like, he was level 4 earlier on. I remember seeing when Magnus was still level 1 even, or maybe level 2 at the time. And I just, with a Silhouette Hellbringer, how does that even happen? But he's managed.
Well, we talked about it a little bit. Hellbringer wasn't necessarily optimizing the pull camp. Like, he didn't pull to the hard camp either, so experience-wise, Behemoth got a fair chunk of it. And look at the pitfall in the mid lane.
That's going to land. Flagellation, not enough follow-up, though. Showdown bringing it back in. Colorado. They're using everything for this Rhapsody kill. They will maybe get it. Okay, they do. But at what cost here? Malphus being summoned down will help Gladiator a little bit. Behemoth Shockwave on the Elemental Void. It's going to stop them. Behemoth in trouble. If this touch going to be used, ain't going to matter, though. Behemoth goes down. Down goes Gladiator. And there is the Wombo combo coming out from the Hellborn side right there. You mentioned it. Team fights. Hellborn side does have the advantage right now, and that showed off right there.
Well played by them, definitely. Rotating everyone over there and getting those kills. But what happened with Behemoth? He had his Polki and he jumped only the Gladiator with the Shockwave.
Yeah. Wasn't the best.
I'm not sure that they could have made that fight much more successful than they actually did. And the fact that Malikan didn't even port in, I feel like, I mean, his support definitely would have been needed there.
Yeah.
He had plenty of time to just port in.
Got the replay up right here just to double check. Yeah, the pitfall. I mean, again, it seemed like that they were going to commit a little too much to just a Rhapsody kill. I was a little worried about that for them. And then they pulled him in. No, he didn't portal key, so he actually just ran up. And,
so he just got it delivered? Because he had it when he died.
He had just got it delivered maybe, but he happened to be like right next to them, and then a lot of damage happened, obviously, so he couldn't use the portal key at that time. So, yeah, I think it was kind of more of a almost reacting to, well, I might as well use it here kind of deal at that point. But yeah, definitely not the ideal initiation for him, especially. So.
Yeah, Shockwave is on cooldown now. I'm surprised that the Legion team is actually grouping up here to take this tower. This might be backfiring, or is Hellborn team ready to defend it? Tempest doesn't have Elemental Void, and he's really low on health.
That's the thing. I mean, sure, Shockwave's down, but so is Elemental Void and Malphus, for that matter. So there are a couple of big ultis down on the Hellborn side.
That's true.
So they feel comfortable enough. Now, granted, they still have Eruption and Call to Arms. No portal key on Magnus, though. So don't have to worry about that here.
Hellbringer is in a very offensive position. So is Silhouette. These guys, they need to be careful.
Swapped out right there. That was pretty close. Pitfall, it's going to land on just the minions. No big follow-up, though, coming out.
I don't see the Legion team breaking this tower. They should definitely just go into the enemy forest, or the Hellborn forest, try to take as much stacks as possible and just ward up. Because I do not see them breaking the tower, even though Hellbringer ultimate is down for another 20 seconds, and so is the Elemental Void. Like, versus a Pitfall, versus a Call of Arms, like, the Ophelia creeps are going to die in seconds. They're already low on health. I don't think this is going to be successful.
Yeah. Definitely overstaying the welcome, you could say. 5 more seconds on the Malphus. Behemoth wants something to happen, though. They are really diving for a kill right here. Gladiator going to get caught, but Malphus is ready, expecting it soon, honestly. Gladiator's in trouble. Gladiator is going to fall. No, Malphus finally coming out. Call to Arms will be used. Malikan is going to be killed off, so it will be a 1-for-1. That was a very late Malphus. But they do end up getting it, but a big counter. Shockwave, the damage follow-up, though, that's the question now. Prison Break pulling back in. Down goes Silhouette. Tempest in trouble. He does not have Elemental Void. Eruption, though, from Magnus. A little bit of damage helping, and they get the kill onto Prisoner. So it ends up being a 2-for-2. And you look at the tower, it wasn't even really touched for the most part.
Nope, it was not. It went all in and weren't able to win that teamfight. Or wait, they might be getting the Magnus.
No.
Well.
There we go.
Nice, sticking around a little bit longer. Malphus is still up and running. For how long is that ultimate active?
It lasts a while, man. Yeah, what is it? Doesn't say on that one. Let's see the extended tooltip. It says 60 seconds. So yeah, a minute.
Damn, 1 whole minute.
Yep, that'll be around for a while. And again, the new Malphus as well. Slightly different as far as you don't need to worry about microing it necessarily as much. Which I wasn't a huge fan of personally. I like the idea of shift or tab queuing into Flame Breath, showing off my micro skills, but
yeah, agreed.
I understand. the casuals and all. Need it to be a little more easier. No, but the new Malphus is he's damn strong. I will say, as much as I also like the microing, I did not like the multi-Malphus in the end. I like going back to the single Malphus. Because I think it was a little too much with the 2 and then 3 even. And
yeah, especially in mid-wars when you got Restoration Stone every single game.
Yeah, got a little crazy. Anyways.
I don't think that the Legion team should slow down the pace by any means. They should just keep on pushing and having fights. Like the ultimates were down once more. The Eruption and the Hellbringer. They should try to get map control. Just try to get vision in the enemy forest and try to get those top towers. Like slowing down the pace is just going to make Ophelia less effective. Now, especially when they got a Shrunken Head pickup right there on Malakan, they really got nothing that they need to wait for. It might be in the level 11 on the Behemoth, but he's going to get it eventually if they just start grouping up and pushing towers.
Yeah, there's nothing really coming up necessarily too soon here for them, so that makes sense. I mean, maybe Ophelia level 11 as well, but kind of the same idea. That should be coming up here just naturally anyways. Double stack, no, triple stack Ancients in the meantime on the Hellborn side. But they need to be careful that it doesn't get stolen. You can see the Legion team. They're in Russian Dargons. They're interested in that perhaps. Or this area even. They don't have vision over here, so I'm not necessarily sure what exactly.
Oh, there we go. There was no, that was another Water of Revelation.
Board, yeah.
Still no vision. Here comes the Skeleton Kings.
Yeah, God, how did they even know? They kind of just went into it. It's actually Shockwave, and the real silhouette was there. Gets the kill, and now they're going to clean up the Ancients, or at least go for it. Tempest nearby. Malakan sword throw in the background. Hellbringer is caught. He does have a Malphus. He ain't going to use it, though. He got feared by the possession, eventually falls right there. A 2-for-nothing exchange, and it could very likely be more. The pullback in on the Tempest. He goes down. Gladiator says call to arms, might as well try, but that's not going to matter. He eventually will fall. A 4-for-nothing in favor of Russian Dargons here.
Damn, that snowballed out of control. Like, they just ran in and we're lucky, I guess. Found the silhouette off guard, and I think the Hellborn team just got caught off surprise because they didn't have any vision in the area. So when they saw 3 Skeleton Kings running up the ramp, they just took a step back rather than just go all in. If they would have committed to that fight, I definitely feel like they could have come out in a much better position. But they expected the Hellborn or the Legion team to have full vision on them. They just fell back and let Silhouette die.
I'm still just honestly a little baffled as to how they there was no vision over here for them, yet they just knew that they were in this area, and then they scouted initially with the Ophelia minions, and then sure enough, were able to jump at the right time.
I think they scouted out the fact that there was a tri-stack there. I think it was the Malakan sword throw maybe even from his side of the map.
So they figured it might have been happening soon.
Yeah, and Silhouette was missing from the top as well as other heroes, so they kind of figured. And then they were just lucky with the Skeleton Kings.
Yeah.
But, yeah, once again, I mean, they had all the cooldowns up on the Hellborn team, so if they would have just committed and they start there, because the Legion team were not 5 people from the start. If they would have committed the Hellborn team, I think they could have even made a Legion team getting punished for walking up there without vision. But,
yeah. I gotta call out Toasted Toad, by the way, playing Hellbringer a little bit, because, you know, I even mentioned earlier with the very late Malphus, he had several seconds to use it, chose not, and Gladiator ended up dying, and honestly in that fight, he had at least a second or so window before he got feared to the point where he wasn't able to use it and eventually died. It seems like he's being very cautious in terms of when to use it, and I feel like you kind of almost, that almost has to be the tool that you guys just jump in with. Like, that's the start for this Hellborn side.
Yeah, if he would have used it right away when the Skeleton Kings walked up, he would have definitely saved Silhouette.
That too.
From dying at least, so. Yeah, something to look out for. Here we go. Invisibility rune, that's not a Veiled Rot.
Kind of taking some poke damage right there. Didn't even realize.
I don't know if this is a bait or if the Legion or the Hellborn team senses something. I mean, Tempest is nearby. He got Astra, he got Elemental Void up.
Oh, yeah.
Prisoner is going to walk into the Water of Revelation. Now he's visible. They're going to go for him.
Do they?
Gladiator!
Yeah, that's tough, though, because Gladiator really can't do a whole lot himself right there.
Yeah, but the Hellborn team is around, or Tempest and Hellbringer.
And there's another rev, but he's just out of range. Jeez. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, they had a couple of chances right there, but...
I mean, oh, damn. They're still going to go in here. They see the Behemoth now, though, so now they need to be careful.
What? He didn't attack.
What?
He canceled his attack, and then he messed up the pitfall. The card arms completely whiffs. The finish
don't
stuff's
go,
going to
guys.
block them off as well. Prisoner's going to be fine for now. In fact, they could look to turn this if they're not careful. No more call to arms. That shockwave in the background as he's caught on Silhouette. Silhouette, though, Tree Gobble forward. He does have the Nullstone up. Pitfall in the background. Connecting Elemental. Void going to be canceled pretty quickly right there from a possession by Malakin. Behemoth staying alive in the background. Silhouette gets very low. Tempest will go down. And that Malakin ulti form doing so much work right here. Silhouette and Gladiator, as well as Magnus, in fact, are still alive. Silhouette trying to juke right here with the minion, or his illusion even. But that's not going to happen, though. Caught by the fissure, and he will go down. Another, well, just complete wipe there to an extent by Russian Dargons. That's start.
It's so unfortunate. Like, they had the free pickoff on the Prisoner. They could have, like, avoided all of those deaths as well if they were just to hit one single spell, but everything missed. Magnus jumping in with a Lava Surge instead of the Eruption, Gladiator hitting all his spells, Elemental Void being cancelled immediately. Like, they got so many tools, so many ultimates, but nothing seemed to connect in that fight. Well played by the Legion team, though. Just taking advantage of the situation. Behemoth once again making a really big shockwave in the background.
Rift Shards on Malakin, going straight into damage. A little greedy there,
I mean,
but
why not? They could benefit a little bit from a shield or a bulwark here, but I guess Ophelia could even go for that.
Tower goes down, and yeah, exactly. He's staying alive clearly in these fights, and why not just enhance? And actually, that's going to be level 3 Rift Shards. Jeez, already delivered. So using that gold wisely. And actually, Gladiator is going to fall back from the bottom lane, feeling something might be up. Again, he did go the Assassin Shroud style, or, you know, Formless. Formless plays it for complexity. Again, he plays it definitely more the carry role, of course, but he actually passes up the Assassin Shroud initially. Nice to get more of the Frostburn and whatnot, but this is definitely more the typical.
I think that other, like, build-up is better. I don't think that you need Assassin Shroud this early on into the game, unless you got a really good advantage already. You can just like run around and pick off low-level supports on the enemy team. This early on, I don't see the Shroud really doing too much. Oh, who picked a BKB? Super KG got a BKB, 350 gold per minute.
Already, yeah. We follow up the portal key, so another one of those. I mean, there's some good physical damage on the Hellborn side, but Shrunken in itself is, of course, going to do a bit.
So far there isn't too much, though. Like, Silhouette is not going to deal too much physical damage quite yet, and Gladiator doesn't really have any damage items.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that as long as you got a BKB activated in a team fight, he's not going to drop.
Huh.
But let's see. Tempest, if he gets a BKB, there is the Possession, potentially, that could cancel it. There is the Prisoner Hook, and there is the Ophelia Skeleton Kings, which Archer Tiger currently has 3 of. So, safe to say that it's going to be a difficult game for Tempest to find good ultimates. Oh, and he's actually going to find Silhouette. Does he have the ultimate up? Yeah, he does.
That is the illusion, right? Yeah. Ports out before getting caught right. I was watching Gladiator, too. He's almost struggling with some Ancients there, but he does survive and finishes them off in the meantime. Good to go there. Yeah, sorry guys, I was adjusting. I know that there was some kind of bug in the last patch where it messed with some health bars a little bit, so I was noticing that too, as far as the colors of the health bar. So things like wards were kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I found out what it was and changed it back to red and green now.
Oh, which one was it? Was it health pipe or health?
If you go to health bars and then bar colors, you change it to solid green and red, and then that actually makes it so it's green and red, like Legion Hellborn.
Ah, okay, nice. Yeah, because it's troublesome to actually see the words at times.
Yeah, that was throwing me off a little bit. I know the creeps too when you're actually playing a game could be a little annoying, but alright, here we go. Magnus off to the side, has a portal key, level 11. Nope.
Barrier Idol and 2 BKBs on the Legion side. I don't see that Eruption doing too much at this point. And of course the Protected Melody and the Dance Floor. There's a lot of heal. I don't see the Hellborn team winning a team fight unless they get a good pistol ultimate off. They need just Turtle in the base and let Silhouette do his thing. He's tried to counter push as much as possible, but as of right now, he's stuck in the base. I feel like he should be at the top, pushing that secondary tower.
Still in the Ancients. Looking to see if they run into them. You see the rev board will catch this ward aside, but Prisoner jumping in first. Shockwave follow-up. Hellbringer dead. Silhouette dead and Magnus dead. Just like that. Call to Arms comes out way too late, though. Can't really blame him, however. I mean, that jump here for the Legion side was just so quick between Behemoth and Prisoner especially. Did Malik get even possession? Oh, yeah, he did. Okay. So he is in ranged form right here. So with this Avatar, honestly, but he's going to do some good damage to the tower. Gladiator is like, oh, he didn't even attack, actually.
he was trying to, but he ran out of time.
Tried the showdown there, but it's a clever little tool of Gladiators, but unable to get some damage off of there, and they're just going to have to let the tower fall pretty much. The Rax, though, should stay alive here.
If I were a Legion, I would just push in the Millerax. There's nothing that they really fear from the Hellborn side.
Malphus and Eruption and Elemental Void are all up now. This is something.
Oh, Rhapsody.
There we go with the follow-up. Magnus coming in. Rhapsody's in trouble. Protect the Melody, though. She will eventually die. The Tempest Ultimate is still not used just yet. He's getting locked down. He's trying to maybe get a good one off. It ain't going to happen, though. He goes down. Double tap for Super KGE. Yeah, they have the potential, but they just couldn't get a clean one off. You look at Silhouette jumping in, it's like, okay, that's not a lot of damage at this point. So they shrug it off, get the Rax killed, and they get on out of there. And now a symbol of freaking rage from Malikan.
Okay, never mind. He had Ophelia's touch activated. Yeah, good try, definitely from the Hellborn, hitting the perfect pitfall just in time where Rhapsody mispositions himself a little bit and walks into the Ophelia. Like, that's the only way that the Hellborn team actually can win that game. As long as Rhapsody stays out of position and is ready to protect Ophelia with that protect melody, and they get Astro plus Ophelia's touch off, I don't see them losing a team fight. But that was close. So nice try from the Hellborn team.
They need it all. They need it all to come together, and haven't necessarily had they had the one. There was the one fight. I think it was the middle and earlier on, but it's obviously a pretty difficult spot now. It's still very possible because of how much potential they have in AoE sense, but yeah, Malikan having the symbol now, 2,500 life, the extra powerful life steal, the level 4 Rift Shard, so clearly dealing a lot of damage.
Wow, he's so fat.
Yeah, already. It's not even 30 minutes in.
625 gold per minute, Malikan. That's scary. Symbol of Rage, like, yeah. I think it's a little bit too early for that item. I don't think it's going to benefit him too much. But, well, he's not going to drop at least.
Yeah. You know, I was actually just about to bring that up. You know, if Quincy was here, I would be curious to find out, you know, how many times we've seen similar range before 30 minutes into the game. Because it is a very late game item, of course. But
I don't think we've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's rare to see it this early on. But again, it kind of, because he went level 4 Rift Shards right away, and how the hero just works with the Zeal ability especially, I kind of think there is warrant to get it. I'm not saying it is the best choice.
Yeah, but he's got so much team support already with the Protective Melody, the Astro, the Fearless Touch, the Barrier Idol. There's so many aura items. He would never drop even without it. I mean, he already had a Whispering Helm, so as soon as he got his ultimate form off and that extra HP and the lifesteal, I don't see him dropping. I think he could have gone for a Demonic Breastplate, seeing as they don't have a Bulwark under their team.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's safe at least, and it's not like they're gonna lose this game by any means. So playing it safe, I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
Hellbringer does get a point into that evil presence now, and again, kind of interesting. It's similar to before, but not really. It does have similar aspects, at least, than the one that the on-use idea, where it kind of morphed the two abilities together. It does the slow now, but also reduces their armor on use, the magic armor that is. But you know, looking at this Hellborn team, though, it's not necessarily the greatest effect for them, honestly. You know, Gladiator and Silhouette more of their damage, and they are, of course, physical sense, so not too crazy synergy there. But he'll start getting some points, so that will help with Magnus and himself, for that matter. However, Kongor, it's going to fall, and that'll be a token for Malikan. See Fissure just in case.
Yeah. Almost feel like he should have given it to Super KG and a Prisoner instead, so that he could just go jump in YOLO and soak as much damage as possible at this point. He's probably the one more likely to die. Or even give it to Ophelia. As long as she survives, the entire team is going to do the same.
We're going to try to hold right here, Gladiator. He has a showdown, I'm guessing? Yeah, he's kind of just charging in. Pretty YOLO right there, but that makes sense. Silhouette, no, those are not the real ones.
Wow, her ultimate is down for 70 seconds now, though.
Yep.
That was so not beneficial for his part.
Pretty much wasting it right there. Meanwhile, Tennessee got hit by the hook, though. Super KG, what a start to this. Find the element of the void, though. He's able to turn. No, canceled immediately. Malphus is down. Eruption going out. Prisoner will fall. Rhapsody in the background, but the Shockwave catches 3, including Silhouette. She'll go down as well as Tempest. Magma's barely alive. Maybe a 1 second longer as Ophelia, the auto attack to finish him off. So another one fight for the Legion team. Malikan clearly just too strong. And again, obviously great team support as well. Behemoth, fantastic initiations on his part. Prisoner did some great jobs with his hooks both early game and things like that. And again, just teamwork there coming out from Russian Dargons.
Very solid draft on Legion's part, and executed everything. They got all the aura items. Feel like they did pretty much everything that was expected of them. So definitely well played by them. And these guys, I'm pretty sure that they have not been playing together for long. If they haven't been screaming at all, I don't know. Or if they've just been like some friends that put together a team. I think that's the case. So very impressive.